driving me crazy just looking at it. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. Without you, driving me crazy just looking at it. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just you. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just you. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. Give it to me like world without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live without you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. So far, so good. I mean, obviously, we haven't watched Tottenham play, so don't think anyone's going to be too stressed out yet. If I'm going to be honest, is anyone really stressed out for the game? I mean, some will say we are playing for two reasons here and two reasons only. And one is pride. I think that word disappeared at Spurs a long time ago, personally. But yeah, one is pride and the other one is, can we actually just stop Liverpool for once, rubbing it in our face again, and then also winning the title at their ground? As all they need is 1 point. 1 point is all Liverpool need, and that league is theirs. I mean, if for some strange way they would just manage to lose every game now and lose and just destroy this season, that would probably, for me, be the biggest bottle job I have ever seen in football. And it's not going to happen. They're easily going to get another point. They're easily going to get another few goals. But can we stop them doing it at their ground? I don't think they're going to come out looking for the 1-1. I really don't. I don't think I don't think they're going to come out looking for the draw. I personally think Liverpool are going to come out with a point to prove to their fans. We've won this league. We want this league at home in front of everyone. And I think they're going to come out and try and do it in style. I think they're going to come out and try and totally annihilate us because they know they are more than capable of doing it. I mean, the confidence in the team, you can see, is a total wreck. I mean, after that game against Frankfurt, I say expected is the wrong word. I was hoping for something that, all right, come on, let's just give the rest of this season a go and see what we can do. We all know the Europa's the only thing we got left to really play for, realistically. It's the only chance we have got of rescuing this season in any chance or manner. So today being obviously Sunday and the game's on Thursday, I'm going to be very interested on who Ange actually has to pick for this team. I mean, people talk about momentum. Well, we didn't see much momentum with Forest, did we? As soon as it looked like we'd done something half decent defensively, that Ange had, I wouldn't say changed his system or totally adapted, but he'd done something right in a game, basically. And then we just went back to being ourselves. It just went back to the same Spurs, different day, different game. And it's been happening all season. Now, we're not going to know the teams until what, about 4:00, 3:45 maybe, with the 4:30 kickoff. There's just one side of me that just says, look, I've just had enough. I want the end of this season to come. Call me what you want. Call me negative. Call me this. Call me what. I'm really going to give a toss. I've had enough for this season. Done and dusted. If we can get that Europa Cup, it will just be, for me, excellent. Obviously, I want us to win something. I will be proper happy we win that. But I will still want this manager gone. I mean, for me, he's just, I know people still got faith in him. Fair play. Each their own. Everyone's allowed their own opinion, in my opinion. But we can't hang on to this. He has blatantly shown he cannot adapt consistently. He cannot get the team playing consistently. It doesn't look like the team wants to play for him. Are they even going to turn up today? I suppose it's just one of those things. Give it another few hours, another 3.5 hours. Time will tell. So, going to say hello to a few people and then just basically go with the flow. So, Tony, big up Dan, guests and chat. Liverpool Spurs 5-1. Ange out tonight. You know what? You say 5-1, mate. I don't think it's going to be a quite 5-1. I see being it more of a 3-4-1 sort of thing. But then that also depends what team we put out there. I mean, on a defensive manner, could we be any worse, really? I mean, on a realistic point of view, could we? I mean, the fact that we took bloody Romero and Van der Ven off. Yeah, it just about says it all, especially when Romero's getting replaced with Davis or whatever. It just about says it all how poor they were playing. I mean, the answer to that was the fact that Ange wanted to give Van der Ven a bit of time off still, get him into it more and more, as such, fitness levels and everything. And he said Romero had earned some time off the pitch, basically. Yeah, too right, he earned some time off the pitch. Get the fuck off that pitch, mate. You were terrible. Absolutely shockingly terrible for a world-class player. So-called world-class player, anyway. I personally think today, I think we're going to see a bit of a... Cheers, mate. I think we're going to see a bit of a 3-1, 4-1. I think 3-1, personally. So are we going to get totally destroyed up there? 3-1, is that totally destroyed? For me, that's not totally destroyed, but you know you've been beaten good and proper. Yeah, I see a 3-1 today. Would I be surprised with a 4-1? No. Tony, if it goes to 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, would anyone still be surprised? Not particularly. But for me, I reckon 3-1 Liverpool today. They're going to come out. They're going to want to win it at home. They're going to want to win it in their own fan base. Because when they did win it over COVID, it was... how must the players have fought? How must the team have fought? The first time you've won that league in like 30-odd years, being one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Because that was a bad record for them, without a doubt, and still is. And then all this COVID crap on, and none of your fans can even come and see that you've won it. It must have felt almost, I don't know, plastic even. Obviously, the fans would have been over the moon. They still won it and everything, but I very much doubt it would have had the same sort of feeling as they go and absolutely slaughter us or just beat us 1-0 or even get that draw today and do it at home in front of their own fans. They've got their fan base there. They want this. It's on the plate, and Spurs are there, sadly, for the taking. I mean, Sue Smith, big up to you. Hope you're all right, lady. I haven't spoken to you for a while now. Big up Dan, taking a break from YouTube because of health reasons. Yes, that's exactly why I've been having to do it over the months. I mean, is it worth doing YouTube and putting your health in risk? No, it's bloody not. Is it worth watching Spurs and feeling like headbutting the wall every time you do it. No, it's not, but we all seem to do it. And anyway, big up Dan, taking a break from YouTube because of health reasons. I hope you're good anyway, and sheer apathy where Spurs are concerned. Take care of yourself, big man, and always stay true to the answer to your question. No. I hope everything's good for you, and if there is any medical issues, take care of yourself, and I hope you get better soon. And she also says, yeah, I'll probably see you for the European game. No interest in the league. Big up to all my Spurs buddies. Too many to name, and you know who you are. Ange out, for the love of God. Yes, please, somebody. You know what? I'm just going to try very hard not to go into that one today. I think everybody now knows how everybody feels. And obviously everybody doesn't feel the same. Like I said, not everybody wants him out, not everybody wants him in. But I think everybody's got a very rough idea on how every single different person feels that we see regular on YouTube. So what's the point of just going over it over and over again? Like some people say, I must admit, I am sick to death of just doing the channels and talking about the same problems, the same shit, the same players that are causing mistakes every bloody game. It's not even like we even get to talk about a different, where we played a different style in a game, or it was a different problem that we had, or whatever else, or a different thing. It's just the same shit over and over again now for what? 14, 18 months? Just the same stuff. I'm just bored of it. I'm sick to death of it. I think Alex was the first one who actually called it. Like when me and him had a chat on the phone, he said it live on air. Mate, I feel the same. See, the quicker the season ends for me, the better. And Daryl Denton, be watching City for my 4-team ACCA. Got to be mad to watch us up there. Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, me, I've just to totally do it. Also got on the phone with my mate, and who's a Liverpool supporter, to come up here and watch the game with me. Some will say, why do you put yourself in that pain? It's who I am. It's what we are, mate. We are Spurs supporters. A lot of us seem to get what we deserve, and a lot of us don't. And Tom, afternoon, Dan and chat. Hope all is well. All is good, mate. Hope everything's good for you. Archer, member, good afternoon, Dan and chat. Good afternoon to you too, mate. Graham 30, big up, Dan. Big up to you. And Brad, Liverpool will look very silly if they lose to Spurs. Can you imagine it? No. I can't. That's the problem. I mean, anything's possible. We know that. I think that's why we all love football. Anything is possible on that one day with a game of football. But as I say, for the league, you saw it against Forest. The players ain't even got the heart. Where's that Europa Cup? Can we still win it? Of course we can. I called this out a while ago, a good 8 months back, 9 months back now, that when they said there was no chance that Ange could win a cup ever or whatever, I disagreed. Reason being, because even playing this suicidal football, I mean, I'm not meant to use that word on here, but I don't really care. Everybody knows what I mean. This Ange ball, whatever you want to call it, you can win a cup. You can win a cup over 6 or 8 games with just either playing consistently shit teams, which we have beat some very poor teams, and anyone decent we've come up against, bar Frankfurt, we've actually got a bit of a slap up. I mean, Roma, they was absolutely shocking at the time, in the worst form I've ever seen them in. And now look at them in the league. On their third manager, by the way. If I remember right, they're either 6th or 7th. And they're playing Inter Milan today, who are slowly starting to slack, but still, hopefully for me, win that league over Napoli, because obviously Inter's my second team. But it is capable of winning a cup. It got us to 2 semi-finals, and obviously nothing comes of it, so it's irrelevant to an extent to me. But look how England got to finals in the past 2 competitions and semi-finals and that. In that last year, I thought England was absolutely shit in that last competition. And we managed to get to the final with luck, playing poor, and then one moment of, say, would you even say quality in a game? And then we come up against Spain and they just totally made us look like schoolboys because that is a real team. And this is my point. You can get to finals and even win a cup as long as you've got a bit of luck on your side. But this shit ain't working over 38 games in a season. You're still going to get your lucky games in a season. You're still going to get your unlucky games in a season. VAR go with you, against you, everything else. We all know that. But over 38 games, this crap don't work. And it has proved it. And then when the manager starts going on about, I'll come to that one in a second, just with what Amit has got to say here. Amit, big up to you, mate. Cheers for watching. And Ange waffling again in his conference. Guy just does not know when to keep his mouth shut. Most unlikable manager ever. What do you want me to say? What can I say to that? I think the thing that frustrated everyone with 5th place last year is 5th place was a good finish last season. You can't deny that. It was a good finish. But we all know that if he'd have adapted to certain things during the season, mainly with the zonal marking in the penalty area, on the free kicks and the corners and everything, we could have got some games that we didn't if he would have adapted during it. But again, we're going back to the same fucking story again and again and again. But 5th place wasn't bad. But I think a lot of us, some of us, realised why we got that 5th place. And that was because we had a very good start to the season with those first 10 games. And it was pretty much purely down to that. And I said to everyone at the start of the season, the first thing I said when people said, like, on this show, on Savage Show, Stell Show, when I went on Spurs Kings TV and whatever, asked the same question on everything as you do. How do you think the season's going to go? And I just said, well, this season, I think we're going to see Ange for what he truly is, because he's not going to have those first 10 games of the season to defend him. And lo and behold, here we are. Couldn't we do with another 27, 28 points, whatever it was we had, something along those lines, that we had at the start of the previous season? I said he's not going to have those first 10 games to cover and save his ass and save his season. And it has very much showed, hasn't it? And Daryl Denton, as long as scoring not as bad as the Eubank fight, laugh out loud. That was definitely a split decision last night. Mate, I didn't even bother. Honestly, I did not even bother with that fight. Why am I going to go and watch them two fight when I watched their dad's fight? And that was a real fight. I couldn't even be bothered with it. I think, if I'm going to be honest, mate, I think boxing's pretty shit these days. I don't even bother with it. I mean, for me, I prefer UFC. I'd rather watch UFC than boxing all day long. I find boxing these days has just got dry lunch and boring. But again, it's just a personal opinion. Each to your own, whatever turns you on at the end of the day. And Graham 30, question, who did you prefer as a partnership, Kane and Son or Keane and Berbatov? Ooh. I must admit, you've caught me a bit off guard there, mate, with that one. I mean, if anyone else wants to answer that one for me, I mean, I'll probably catch up with you later. I mean, I'm already like 15, 20 minutes behind on the chats. For me, that's a good question. I mean, Berbatov, for me, is probably one of the most skillful players we have ever had at Spurs, in my personal opinion. I don't think I've seen many players in football, full stop, over the years be able to control a ball from a 30-yard pass like he could. Yes, he was lazy as, but he was a player I definitely liked and he was good. But if we're going to go by goals and we're going to go as teamwork and everything, it's got to be Kane and Son, because they are probably the best pair up. They are the best pair up we've had. And as they say, officially in the Premier League, they have been the best pair up there's been in the Premier League. But I did like Keane and Berbatov. I won't deny it. That was a pair up. It's a good question. I mean, if you go by facts and numbers, then it is definitely Kane and Son. But again, to people, each their own. But then if you want to change it, now for me, ideally, what I'd love to see out of that is Kane and Berbatov. That is one I would have liked to see. But would they have been able to pull off with the same sort of speed as because neither had really had the speed on them? Kane definitely hasn't. Berbatov didn't have no pace on him really, and that. And yeah, but Berbatov and Kane, that'd be one I'd have loved to see. I won't deny it. And Brad saying Kane and Son. It is Kane and Son. They're the best we've had as a pair up. Archie saying, don't be stingy like Levy. Hit the likes, peeps. Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciated. Tony, I think Ange will start Kingsky, Gray, Romero, Danzo, Spence, Kulusevski, Basuma, Sartel, Richarlison, Johnson. Yeah, I think anything's possible for starting this game because for me, again, the most important game is Thursday. I know people have this belief that every game is important and everything else. I totally get it. I do totally understand it. But again, like I was saying, the Europa Cup, we can still get it. We can still win it. So if he makes a couple of changes or brings off a couple of players at half time that you think maybe he shouldn't be coming off, that's one of our better players. If he's doing that to make sure that they are better for the that we are basically got our team fit for when it comes to the European game, then I can totally understand why he would do it. It would be a sensible thing he would do for a change. But does Ange do anything sensible? Hardly ever by that game against Frankfurt, bar that game. But yeah, Tony, I'm going to go through the team what I think it's going to be or what people are saying it's going to be. I think you've got it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Vicario is 1 point I would like to get to. And just to bring up here, 7. Thanks a lot, mate. It's much appreciated for the super chat. Predictions for today, Dan. I'll place the bet. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool are going to go out. They're going to go for the win. Obviously, no two ways about it. And they are definitely. I just cannot see it being any other result. I just really can't. It on a realistic manner. I mean, you can always live on hope at your life all you want, but if you live on too much hope, that's when you get hurt, like we know at Spurs. But I just honestly 3-1 to Spurs for me, mate. Spurs, I wish. 3-1 to Liverpool for me, mate. I just cannot see how it can go any other way. If it does, I will be very, very shocked if we win that bloody game. But like you say, it's football. Anything is possible. And big up Dan, Philly2109. Big up to you, mate. Big up Dan E and everyone in the chat. Is everyone ready for the doctor who's special of hiding behind the couch? This afternoon, I fully expect Liverpool to put on a show thoroughly deserved. Yes, they are at home and they are going to win that game in a very big way at home. These bottles are so hard to bloody open now. I have to open them with fucking teeth. Ah. Sorry about that. And Miss Bunny, how you doing? Get the likes up. Thanks a lot. And Gus Parker, afternoon, Dan. Afternoon to you too, mate. Is that 1-0 you're saying? And what you're saying here, afternoon, Dan, 1-0 Jota today, I reckon. Again, anything is possible. But I think they're going to give us a bit more of a hiding than 1-0. Especially if we concede that early goal, which we have been doing game after game after bloody game. And if they do that, you know the players are going to just come down. You know they're going to... You just know what's going to happen. You can literally predict it. And it's just... It is what it is now at the end of the day. Just got to put a quick message. There we go. Job done there. And Beth, afternoon, husband. Afternoon to you. Still in bed being lazy since late night last night. Ended up watching a film last night, actually. I mean, I didn't want to watch it because I really loved the first one so much. And I thought the second one was absolute crap. Watched Equalizer 3 last night. I've been avoiding it for about a year now because I thought the first one was brilliant. I thought the first one was absolutely excellent, and then I thought the second one was complete shit, and I didn't want to watch the third one. And then I watched that third one last night, and I must admit, as an action movie, I don't think you're going to see better than that. So if you haven't watched Equalizer 3, I would go and do it. And Denzel Washington being one of my favorite all-time actors, quality film, exactly what I needed last night. And then from that, it was about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and went back and I said, you know what, I'm going to watch the first one as well. And then, yeah, it turned out to be a late night. So I think Beth is having a bit of a lay-in, and that's down to my fault, putting the films on late. Anyway, back to the football and everyone on here. Daniel 90, big up to you too, mate. And Philly 2109 saying big up to Beth and Brad to Doctor Who. That's like a kindergarten show now. Yeah, we know that. Beth sending Philly 2109 a love along with Tony. Miss Bunny saying it's not going to be as close as Ben and Eubank was. That's a fact. I didn't even watch the fight, like I said, but to me, again, not a close game. And it's just, people keep saying it's not going to be a close game. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be that. I just think we all know it. We all know, or are pretty sure, because of the season. And Matty K, big up, sir. Big up to you too, mate. If you want to jump on, do feel free, mate. Love to hear what you think about the game, Matt. What you think is going to happen. And Dave, same to you, mate. Yes, Dan, made the mug of myself last night. I asked a woman out on a date and got a flat. No, going to punish myself today for being a fool by watching Spurs. Dave, we've been many places together, mate. When we went out to Zante and everything. Oh, what a week that was, wasn't it? 50 degrees out there with the other lads and all that. And you had no problem pulling out there, so I'm sure you have no problem pulling sooner or later. The way I look at it, if you don't ask, mate, you don't get. And what's the worst they can say is no. I mean, when I used to get told no, I used to say something back, but I can't really. I won't go into that on here. Dave knows what I mean. And Beth, so big up Tony. Phil, this could easily be worse than 6-3. The fans should have protested at the boxing. Yes. That would have been a prime time to have 2,000 Spurs fans up there just causing a bit of trouble. And when I mean by trouble, I mean by just being there. Events like that. Other people ain't going to want to come to Spurs if there's still all that stuff going on outside or whatever. Some say it would have no effect whatsoever. You stop bloody calling me. Why is it always, every fucking time you end up doing a channel, that's when everyone decides to call you? Yeah, this could easily be worse than, mate, this could be 6-3, this could be 7-1, this could be 1. It's one of them games where you are just sort of preparing yourself for the worst. And the Boonverse, big up Dan and all. Same draw, Spurs, different day. Exactly that, mate. My prime saying on here, same Spurs, different day. At least Fiddle battered that Woolwich fall in boxing. And 7 again, thanks for the super chat, mate. It's appreciated. Archer at Philly. I feel that too. It would be good if fans could start disrupting non-football events. And that is where I think we get heard. And Brad saying, Ben and Eubank, best show Spurs has done all year. I was at North Mid when Chris Eubanks was admitted after his fight with Michael Watson at White Hart Lane. He was pissing, but yeah. I remember the fight. And 7, smash likes. Thanks a lot, mate. Beth saying to David, bit harsh, don't you think? 2 letdowns in 24 hours. Miss Bunny, David R. A flat no, that's brutal. Yeah, well, plenty more out there, mate. Plenty more fish to fry. That's the way to look at it in that one, I suppose. And Rob Welsh saying more chance of Ange flying out at the backside than stopping at Liverpool today. It doesn't look positive today, does it? Dave, at least she was honest. Yep. Beth laughing with Dave and 7. Spurs are the England of the Premier League. Mate, I have said this over and over and over again. Tottenham are, we are, in my opinion, the most, for our club size and for what we should be for our club size. I know there are significant bigger clubs, more powerful clubs than that, but we haven't got shit to show for 17 years apart from a League Cup, And a couple of good seasons, a couple of finals, but still, what does it matter when you get to a final when you not win nothing? What does it really matter? A Champions League final and everything, the semi-final and that, you couldn't have got us all more hyped up if you tried. But if you want to just be blatantly honest, and at the end of the day, when they go through the years and they look at who won the Champions League, they don't look at who comes second place. And we have nothing to show. For me, the size of our club now over the past 10, 15 years, we are the biggest, most underachieving club in football. Not just the Premier League, but football. Some would say that's not the best attitude to have. Fair enough. Each their own again. I'll have whatever attitude I wish. You have whatever attitude you want. It's opinion at the end of the day. But if I'm going to be straight, I don't think that's an opinion I'm saying. I think that one is actually a fact. I think this this club is the most underachieving. We are the, 7th, 8th or 9th now, whatever. We are in the top 10 richest fucking teams on this planet. We are the most underachieving club out there in the world. Even West Ham has achieved more than us in the past 10 years, 15 years. Leicester City won that bloody league that we should have had. And also got cups. And they're getting relegated again. And if we want to be honest, they're not even 20% the size that Spurs are. Money-wise, fan base around the world. We are. And England, pardon me. And England, mate, again, 7th, like I say, England are the most underachieving international team there has ever been in football. Ever. I mean, some of the teams that England's had, especially in that what they call golden era, we're just, yeah. We are not just the England of the Premier League, mate. We are the England of football itself. So I totally agree with you. And Miss Bunny, David R, that's true, I suppose. Philly 209, big up, mate. Big up, Archer. The whole world was there last night. And if the fans protested at the boxing instead of the hearing, North London forever, the sponsors would have asked why. And with that, I agree with you, mate. I think we would have got definitely noticed there. And Greece won the cup by just being defensive. Long balls weren't pretty, but it's a system for cups that's possible Spurs can win. Exactly. That is totally basically what I'm saying. And you can win a cup. I still think we can win this Europa Cup. Henry Fong, get Ange to watch the Inter-Roma game to see how to defend properly. Yes. Inter didn't defend very good against Milan. AC Milan have been Inter's bogey team this year, without a doubt. And I'm starting to think Inter Milan are starting to look a bit tired. I'm just still hoping we get that league. I still think they got the best defence in football at the moment. Sadly to say, I think second place to that is Arsenal. If anyone could give me a different preference, go for it, because I think Arsenal have a solid defence. It is what it is at the end of the day. And with that, I think Inter, though, have the most formidable defence and best counter-attack out there. But they're starting to look tired. And Barcelona's no mugs game. And sorry, Miss Moneypenny, 10-game new manager bounce, and it's all slowly drops off since then. Totally. Phil Coyes, big up Dan, big up to you too, mate. And you know what? It's just one of them days. What I'm going to do, just for the sake of it, because I'm sure there's a few pissed off people out there, I'm just going to put the link down now. And if someone wants to come on and just give me their opinion on the match today, go for it. Come on, give me your opinion and tell me on how you think it's going to be today, or even what we've done all season. I very much doubt I'll get many different opinions on whatever, but I've put the link on there. If anyone wants to come on, do feel free. And Olmo, does it really matter if you stop them from winning the league to win it anyway at the end of the season? Yeah, I know. But it would be nice to go up there and beat them 1-0 and just make them just sweat for another day or two. And with that, again, it is what it is. And Kane and Son, definitely for Tony. That's how far I am. Berbatov was different gravy. Excellent player. Phil Coyes, Keane and Berber. Yeah, nah. It's still got to be Berbatov and Kane would have been my ones on that one. And Miss Money, Solanke and Johnson. Sorry. You even I mean, what the fuck have we got up front? Seriously. Johnson, Richarlison, Solanke, Tell, Odegaard. Oh dear. And Tony, Archibald and Crocs, Robwell, Spur. Never mind either of those partnerships, Sheringham and Klinsmann. Yeah, good pairing. And Brad, I can only remember Kane and Son. I don't remember Keane and Berbatovs that much. Philly 2109. I agree, Dan. I watched the original Ben and Eubank fight. So let me start again. Sorry. I agree, Dan. I watched the original Ben versus Eubank, so we would all what I wanted the Sun. Yeah, I mean, for me, that Eubank Ben fight, both of them, excellent fights. Philly 2109. Why would I want to see Creed 2 when I haven't already seen Rocky 4? Oh, cool, pardon me. And 7, was thinking that myself. I take it by the result I said there. I mean, Brad, question, who's going to score for Spurs first? Mate, I don't know. It even depends on the pitch. It depends who's going to be on there. I can't even call it. I don't know. I mean, with their defence as well, I think we'll even be lucky to get a bloody goal. But I do think it's 3-1 today. And 7, gifted on the Hotspur Hood membership. Thanks for coming a member, mate. Appreciated. Miss Money, Miss Bunny. I've not seen the second one. I love the first one. I take it you're talking about the Equalizer. The second one is crap. The third one, go and watch it. You can go out there and download it off many things out there if you don't know how to do it and you ain't got Sky or nothing. Just go on to Now TV. They're doing a deal at the moment for about 3 or 4 months where you get the films for like $3.99 and then you just cancel it at any time so you haven't got to bother without a contract and watch it. Equalizer 3 is, as a pure action movie, it is the bollocks. Yes, the first one, the acting's better, deeper storyline, bit darker, whatever. But if you just want an action movie from the very second of the start to the very end, with a very good bit of acting, with an excellent actor, one of the best there's been in my eyes, Denzel Washington. It's a must. You got to watch it. And Haley Case, if that's Haley who I think you are, I hope you and your son are good. Hope you're feeling well and you don't want to stop them winning the league. Yep. And Beth, Danny, actually, I'm now up and I'm in the garden. Well, there we go. And Errors, what's up at Dan? Same Spurs, different day. I'll see if you want to say anything's up. Tony, our stadium was red last night. This fucking club. Yeah, my mate sent me a picture of that. And wow. Angus, big up, Dan. What was your thoughts on North London forever being played at your stadium last night? Yeah, I'll take you on about the red light. That. And Miss Bunny, I was so jealous that Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. Yep. And Futures Bright, Futures Willie White, Coys. You're making me fancy a fag, Dan. Mate, after Spurs every time, it is not a cigarette or a fag that I wish to have. I don't even smoke that much. It only seems to be whenever I'm on here talking about Spurs or down the pub that I actually smoke. When I'm indoors, I only smoke a couple. I vape more than anything. But I don't know why. It's just, call it a Spurs thing, basically, what it does to me, or just going down the pub, social thing, whatever. And yeah, I end up smoking a lot more on here than I do during the whole bloody day. I'd probably smoke more in here today just talking about Spurs all day than I would during the week if I didn't actually even come on the fucking shows. And Haley, remember when we used to bet on who would finish higher? Yes, I do, Haley. And that was when Spurs were better than Liverpool. and still got fuck all to show for it. And Lily White Lane, afternoon, Dan. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good as well. Cracking main event last night, but North London forever at Spurs. Imagine Bello doing that at Anfield. Aries at Miss Bunny. Even Forest or Palace can lift a trophy this season. Yeah, and that just about says it all, doesn't it? It just about says everything. Now, what I'm going to do is just go through. I'm very far behind on the chats, and obviously being on my own here is going to be a bit awkward to keep the chats coming on, but I will try. I mean, they're saying the predicted team at the moment. This is the predicted team. Again, last time I went through the predicted team, it came up with about 4 different players. Is Vicario to start in goal? I think that's pretty obvious. But seeing as I've mentioned his name, and seeing as I've gone to Vicario there, yeah. I mean, as I said, there's the link. Anybody want to come on, do feel free. With Vicario, for me, I think he's an extremely good shot stopper. And I would say one of the top 4 in the Premier League. But as an all-round keeper, I think there is a lot of improvement that needs to be made there. I mean, I know a lot of people psyched out when we first got him, and I did tell a lot of people he'd only done a year and a half actually in Syria, but had actually got very noticed. And he was the goalkeeper that Inter wanted to replace Una when he went to Unana, when he went to Man U. I mean, what a pile of shit that has turned out to be. Because you know what the shocking thing is? He was actually very good at Inter Milan. And, or maybe that just shows how good a keeper can be with a good defence. Just asking. He loves to try and command the pitch and shout all over the pitch for Vicario. But then why is it when the ball comes into our own box, nearly every bloody time, just looking at results here, AC Milan 2-0 up. Oh, nice. And don't really want them winning, but it doesn't really matter. They ain't going to win the league. But Vicario, why is it when the ball comes into our own box, he goes dead? You don't see him screaming and shouting nowhere near as much as when the ball's out of the box and up the other end of the pitch and he's being commanding and people see he looks like captain material. And with that, why don't people... I don't get him in some ways. I mean, his catching leaves a lot to be desired, without a doubt. I don't agree with a captain as a goalkeeper. I don't like goalkeepers as captains. But at one stage, he did look like the only one that really had a mouth to be a captain. But again, as a player, we should have had him. It's one we should have gone for. Not for fucking Archie Gray and all that lot. But I am not going into that bullshit again. And he don't come out. He don't command his box properly. When he comes out, he comes flying out with some stupid punches when he should try and catch it. Just lately, I found when the ball goes to him and he's making a save, a rebound save, he seems to push it out and not to the side. I just think there is a total lack of communication now and trust between the defence and the goalkeeper. I think the defence now don't really trust the goalkeeper and the goalkeeper don't trust the defence. And could you even blame them? For me, again, it's down to the tactics. But on Vicario, I think there is a lot of improvement he needs to make. Otherwise, would I be wrong for saying we should possibly look for a better keeper? I don't think a goalkeeper is our prime problem. So he is one that I could quite easily brush on the side and say, have him next season. I wouldn't complain. I think he's a very good shot stopper. But as an all-round goalkeeper, I think there's a lot to be desired with him. I just think if you want to put it in blocks, basically, is the way I work it out, of players we need to get rid of and whatever else, he would be very low on the list because I think there is bigger problems out on that pitch. I mean, up front, we are just absolute. I don't really know how to describe it. It just is shit. Up front, it just looks absolutely shocking. Midfield, there is no communication there in there. There is no fucking... There's no playmaker in there, basically, apart from Maddison comes back to it when he shouldn't even be coming back to that. And it just, the whole team is a fucking mess. And if anyone just cannot see that, I just don't know what you're watching. I know we all see football in different eyes and that, yeah. I can watch a game and I bet you there's things I will see on this game. And I will watch a game and I will see things in that game that certain people on the chat won't see. But there'll be other things in that game that certain people on the chat will see that I won't notice straight away. And that is football. But one thing, how anyone can tell me that we are not a total and utter mess, fuck knows what you've been watching. I have not got a clue. But either way, Vicario, yes, I can see him starting today. And I think there is a lot of improvement this keeper needs to make because I do think he has come downhill. They're saying on the right-hand side, Jed Spence. I can see that happening. I don't see why not. I think we are definitely going to need some sort of defence in those back two. So Spence either playing left or right would be a smart move for me. I would say Spence has got to play, basically. I think his past couple of games, he hasn't exactly been what he was. But I don't think he's been terrible. I don't think he's been terrible either. But if we don't start him today, I think that's a very bad idea. Not if we want to get anything out of this game anyway. Because if we play with Porro and Udogie, who we both know cannot defend, and Porro gets caught out on the right every bloody time, we know we are up shit street, even though we know we are up shit street anyway. And for me, him starting on the left or right is a necessity. It's got to happen if we want to have any sort of chance of a defence out there. And with Haley saying, to be fair, everyone has rough spots. You guys will bounce back. Take it easy, Dan and Beth. Take it easy, Haley. Hope everything's good. Love for me and Beth. And no, things ain't going to bounce back anytime soon with Spurs. Not until we get rid of this manager. And then they say the centre-backs are going to be Danzo and Van der Ven. Yeah, I can see Danzo starting. Personally, I'll start Romero over Van der Ven. Why? I think Romero in that last game, and bar the Eintracht Frankfurt game, has just been such a letdown. He has been just such a... You can say him and Romero have basically been the two... Romero and Son have been the two biggest flops of the season. Why? Because Romero is meant to be a world-class player, so people say. Not in my opinion. Most overrated player we've ever had, in my opinion. Or one of. Yeah? And Son, we all know what Son is capable, or was capable of, should I say. Or does it just show how much Harry Kane carried him? Or does it? It could show a lot of things. But we know that he's getting older now. And for me, he's not captain material. He never was from day one, for God's sake. But Romero has just been... Yes, he's had his injuries and whatever, but when he has played, he stood out in a game or two. If you are a world-class player, whether it's a defender, whether it's a winger, whether it's a striker, whether it's a midfielder, you should be able to come to a piss-poor team like this and stand out a mile. And for me, you don't do it. Now and again, he has a world-class game. And you can big it up that he's won the World Cup all you want, and he's won the, Copa America, and he's won this and that with Argentina. Yeah, significantly better team. But if he's that good, how many times do you talk about him giving a man a match game? How many times do you talk about that he had a quality game? Yeah, Eintracht Frankfurt, he did. He played excellent. No two ways about it. But for me, a world-class player stands out as a world-class player on a regular basis. Yes, you're going to have games where it don't always work for you, and that's just life. We know that, yeah? But a world-class player is consistently good. 9.5 times out of 10 for me. That is world-class for me. Purely opinion. And this is where I just think, I mean, age comes into this one. In my 40s. I mean, my wife keeps getting up when I get told I look 30. Sometimes. And when we was on a cruise, she's going to kill me for this, but when we was on a cruise ship getting married, like, I had a good shave and everything and all that, and I got told I looked younger than her. And someone, when we asked how old you think I am then, and the person said my wife thought she was a year older than me, and I had to really bite my tongue because she really don't. But I don't think it was just one of them moments where it was like, you want the black hole to come up in the floor and swallow you up, because I didn't know what Beth was going to do about it. It was quite amusing. But yeah, for going back to the football side of it, yeah, and I don't see many world-class players out there anymore. I really don't. Not in my opinions. I can go back 20, 25 years and tell you some real world-class players. Players that people call world-class now wouldn't even touch their boots. But we've had many a chat on the show about stuff like that and things like that. I mean, you go and put Romero next to Lilian Thuram. Don't know how many remember him from Juventus and that. Starting at Parma, French player. Nesta, Maldini. Yeah, and I'm sure we can go on for a list of a shitload of other players and everything. For me, if I'm going to be totally honest, God's honest truth here, yeah, I would have said John Terry was better than Romero as a defender. Going forward, is Romero stronger point as a defender, ball playing defender? Yes. I just do not rate this player as high as everyone else does. Again, each your own, whatever turns you on at the end of the day. But Brad's big up to you, mate. I like this channel. It's not so serious as Savers. Again, each their own, mate. He's a cool, calm person. He's a good fella. Plus, you read out all the comments. Yours and Kate's channels are the best. Thanks, mate. It's appreciated. I try and read out as many as I can, because otherwise, I mean, look, I'm already on 1340 here, and we are on 1352. So I think I've caught up a little bit, but it's just when you do this, yeah, I think some people don't realize, because they don't do it, that to keep up with the chat and to also talk on your own is practically impossible. It can't be done unless you've got about 5 people watching you. It is shockingly hard, but I do try to keep in a bit of contact. So thanks, mate. That is appreciated. And again, with Romero, for me, I would rather play Romero today and then leave him out and play Van der Ven and Danzo against Bodo Glimt, because Romero for me is just a very frustrating player, and yeah, you can just see the frustration the way I talk about him. He pisses me off most of the time, if I'm going to tell the truth. And on the left, they say it's going to be, I'm going to go left back. They're going to say it's going to be a doggy. Yeah, I could see that happening one way or another. Spencer's got to be on that left or right, one way or another. And I could say Porro coming out for it. I mean, a lot of people are starting to actually say, Dan, do you think Spurs are the Amir Khan of football? No, I don't. Amir Khan actually won at one point. Just lost myself there for a minute, just thinking too much. When it comes to this Bodo Glimt game, it's not going to be as easy as a few people think. I think a few people are already taking it a step too far, as in, like, we're already in the final. We're not. And these fellas ain't no mugs coming up here, trust me. I mean, my mate David R, he called out their home results, and their home results are significantly good against some actual very good teams. And they even managed to go to Lazio, which is not an easy place to go. Not the best team on the planet, I know, yeah, but Lazio, Roma, or Napoli are certain places you really don't want to go as a fan. Hostile about it's a formidable place to go to, and you need to be able to hold your shit. And can this team hold its shit? Can it fuck? So anyway, what are you saying here, Nicola? I'm sorry, but we need to upgrade on Vicario. If we are going to ever be incomplete, he is not our biggest problem, but he's still a problem. I agree. I don't think he's a problem. I think there's issues, but I don't think he's quite a problem And I think it's because of basically what you've said there. I think we have bigger problems on that pitch. So for me, he's very far down the pecking order as such. But yes, I'm with you. I think we do need to upgrade. But then if we do play a different system with three at the back, I think we could also see a bit more of a more confidence keeper. For me, if I'm going to relate to Vicario to anyone, I'm going to have to go. He just reminds me of Hugo. I didn't think Hugo was that great as a goalkeeper either. And people say he was a world-class keeper. Yes, he played in a world-class team, won the World Cup, just like Romero and everything and that. And look at the team he had with him as well, France, yeah? Who have had some of the best, who I would even say have possibly had the best team international football has ever seen. I know that's a big call. But that French team one time, when it just had everybody, I can't really think of one that I would say was, but I mean, the Brazilians have had some very good teams as well. I think it's a very tight call, but I think the French international wise have probably had the best international team, in my opinion, I've seen. And he always had solid defenders in front of him as well. But Lores was also very flappy as well with his hands at times and would do stupid, unpredictable things. I think him and Vicario got a lot in common. And I think, again, for me, he was a very good shot stopper. But as an out-and-out goalkeeper, for me, with Hugo, same as Vicario, I think there is a lot to be desired there. And Matt, if you give me a minute, I'll let you jump on. And Dave, what he's saying here, should call Vicario Jigsaw because every time the ball goes into the box, he falls into... And Mike Joel, Austin was flawless in the couple of games he played. He looked good, didn't we? I mean, look, we had keepers sitting there, for God's sake, and we go out and get another goalkeeper when we've had players who, like goalkeepers there, who obviously aren't starting for reasons, but still, we go and buy a goalkeeper when the goalkeeper wasn't exactly what we needed then, I don't think. And like you say, Nicola, there, our defense line, forward line, and goalkeeper, the whole lot is just shit. But I still personally believe in a very strong way. And I know it's just saying the same shit over and over again. Matt, I'm going to let you jump on now. Add to stage. There we go, mate. I'll come to you in a minute. I am still a fan of you can make any team, an average team, look more than good enough. Not saying quality or win things, but quality good enough when you play everyone to what their strong points and get the right formation and manage the team right and the players right. It is in that aspect, it's well, it is what it is. How you doing, Matt? Anyway,
doing good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, same Spurs, different day, but I suppose it's before the game, so I'm just going to say same Spurs at the moment. After the game, I probably will see different day. So, your opinion, what do you reckon? Give your team quickly then what you be, seeing as you got 10 minutes, and what you think the game's going to be like, and go for it, mate. Say what you got to say.
Okay, so firstly, I don't care about this game. I don't know if we're going to win or lose or whatever. It has no meaning whatsoever to us. Yeah, I don't. I got offered a ticket. I'm not going. It would be impossible to get there as well. Yeah, I think my prediction is 4-0 Liverpool, if not more. It depends how strong their team is, to be honest. I think our team will be Udogie, Romero, Van der Ven, Porro, Vicario, Bentancur, Bergvall, Maddison, with Son, Richarlison, Odobert. But I want us to rest players. I mean, we got to the 1st of May. I want us to rest players.
So you think basically this game is irrelevant and we should focus on, say, a couple of players getting 45 minutes, take them off and concentrate on the Europa, basically?
I play more 45 minutes. I play some of the kids 45 minutes. I mean, look at us in the league. What relevance does this game have? If you really think about it, not at all in. We're in
I agree.
16th, 1 point off 17th. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Has no meaning whatsoever.
Mate, I'm with you. I agree. And we should be sitting here saying that you want to win every game, and I can understand that with people. You should want to win every game and everything, but I just think this team, this season, this manager has just been so diabolical and just so shocking that it has literally taken a lot of the heart out of a lot of us fans. And
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't say taken the love out, but it's just you don't like them at the moment.
what pisses me off is Ange in his interview yesterday or a few days ago. He said this time last year, our fans wanted us to lose a game. I think to bring that up, it's trying to start a war with the fans. Like we haven't really had this with the manager in the last few years. But like, it's the fans versus the manager. Like normally, if the manager's not good and the fans don't like him, the manager wouldn't like have a go at the fans. Like most games, you're seeing Ange have a go at some of the fans, and it's just not what a manager does. I mean, what pissed me off last night at the stadium? Did you see the picture where the whole stadium was red, and then before that the song was sung? I'll send you the picture quickly.
I've got it. I've already got it, mate. I've already got it, and I don't. Do you know what? Go on, bollocks. Send it to me. Put it on WhatsApp.
It's so on the outside of the stadium, they made the whole thing bright red, and that was after they did the theme tune of Arsenal's thing.
But what do you want? What do you want me to actually say to it, mate? What can I actually say to that? That should just should not be happening. It just shows that we are just not looked on as a football club, doesn't it? It just shows that our owners look on us as nothing more but a fucking business.
Yeah, we're customers.
That we don't even get treated like customers.
I'll talk about.
The customer is meant to be always right, if you remember. Yeah, customer is meant to be always right, and we just get shit on at Spurs because we are the biggest idiot fan base in the world when it comes down to letting our club treat us like absolute dog shit, and then we still go and buy their stuff.
I'll mention the Tell and all our wingers because I've seen people talking about it. Personally, for me, I don't want to sign Tell, however good he is. First of all, he was the wrong player.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think Odegaard has shown more on the ball than Tell for me. And I'm not saying Odegaard's done anything special, but I think Odegaard looks better when he's on the ball than Tell. I
think they're both shit. But firstly, with Tell, when we were in January and we needed to sign a player on loan, we were in a really bad position then. We needed to sign a player with experience to carry us through the end of the season. That's not what we got. We got a 19-year-old who's a winger when we have Mikey Moore, Lucas William Barnett, Jamie Donnelly, Alfie Devine. Why not call back Jamie Donnelly? You look at his performances; he looks so good at Orient. I mean, I was messaging Josh Keeley yesterday. He was telling me he was dying to be at Spurs. Jamie Donnelly, his whole family's proper Spurs, and the performances he's shown, he scored from the halfway line against Man City. Like, you have to be playing these players. You have to bring them back on loan instead of going and getting a 19-year-old winger. Why not play Mikey Moore? Mikey Moore could have done the job that Tell's done, but a lot better, I think. There is no reason we should have got a DM in the January or any player of experience. There's no need to sign Tell. It's stopping Mikey Moore's path, stopping other players in the academy's paths. Yeah, what do you think about
that? It's just the same thing that we've just been repeating ourselves on a lot of the things, yeah? I mean, like, I'm a firm believer of that we did not need a Tell. We needed someone who was 30, 31, 32, who's got experience. We needed someone like a Perisic. I don't necessarily mean in that position, yeah?
Well,
but, you know, someone who's been there, done it, got the storybook, knows how it works. Just been there and done it. A bit of a head on the pitch because we have got no leaders. Do you know what? How old are you, Matt? 15, yeah? Nearly 16.
Yeah.
You could probably, no fucking about, you could probably go on and lead those lead that team better than them. I know I could do it better than any. They just Son just walks around the pitch with the ump most of the time. Yeah, you see a bit of shouting off at him and that, but when do you ever see him really get into a player, apart from once or twice? Like, come on, get your act together. For
Josh
me,
Keeley at Leighton Orient, Josh Keeley, the whole game is absolutely screaming at all his players. He's controlling the game from the back, and then you see other players on loan. George Abbott on loan, he scored yesterday. He's looked amazing on loan. No one even talks about him. He's a DM. He is screaming. He looks like a leader. He was the captain of our under-21s the whole of last season. Took us to all the cups. Why don't we bring him back in January and play him? Because we don't like. I don't understand it.
Look, it's for me. Again, I suppose it goes to time of year, whatever, and that, and each to what they've seen and that. But for me, I want my captain on there, and I always just say the same old thing: Roy Keane, my ideal player. And Patrick Vieira was another player that I one of my favourite players as well, whether he played at Arsenal or not, I don't care. Because they all used to play where I ended up playing in. That was DM role. And I used to look up to them and play like they played. Just a bit more violent and worse, seeing as it was only pub football sort of thing Sunday. And there's just no leaders on there. I mean, Maddison for me is a good player, but I think he walks about the pitch like a little bitch half the time when it ain't going his way. And
with Maddison,
with that. I think he's a very good player, and I think he's a player I want to keep, yeah? But when it's not going his way,
yeah,
I just think he gets very bitchy.
He's egotistical, and he's very, he's a confidence player. He's on confidence, he's very good. But for me, we don't play to his ability at all. If we play to his ability, he is such a good player, I think. I think, without a doubt, he's our best player in our squad, easily. Technically, most good. But
technically gifted, without a doubt, 100% right. I'll make you right, 100%.
If we give him the space, he thrives. But what we're seeing is either Kulusevski drifting into his position. We have Porro, Udogie, Spence, always inverting into his position. You can't expect a player like Maddison to thrive when we have idiot fullbacks just taking up his space the whole time. And then we have Solanke dropping back, Son drifting, Bergvall drifting up. You just can't play Maddison in there because Maddison needs a space, and without that, I don't see.
I agree, and again, it does come down to the system for me. And I've said this all season, and I was saying it last. What the hell is your number 10 meant to be doing as a playmaker? Yeah, when he's got two inverted wing backs coming up either side of him, both centre mids coming up behind him. Probably the defenders on their way up there as well. He's got both sides inverting, and he's got his bloody striker even coming back to him. What is a playmaker meant to do, for God's sake? He's got an option of about 5 or 6 passes, of 6 foot. That is not what a playmaker is there to do. And he has looked good when we've actually not inverted. The times we have looked good this year is when we blatantly haven't played Ange ball and we have blatantly not inverted the wing backs. That is when we have actually looked good, isn't it? Would you agree?
Can I just ask Lord Ronnie Trotter in the chat? He said the biggest disappointment for me is that Moore and everyone else. Do you mean that Moore has been bad, or the Moore hasn't been played?
No, what I think he means is the fact that they haven't been played.
Yeah, but Moore said himself that he's very happy with the season. He's very happy with the amount he's played. His dad's very happy with the amount he's played because they said that to his agents, and that's come out. So for me, he's 17 years old.
Mate. Yeah, but that's bullshit. For me,
I think he's happy. You don't think he's happy?
I don't think he's happy with the amount he's been played, because when you can blatantly see there's something there, he should have got some more time this year.
He was out sick for 3 months during our period when we had so many games. If he was there, he would have been playing every week in Europa. I promise you. He was out in the worst times.
You think Ange would have been picking him regular to go on the pitch?
We would have had to. We had no players at that time.
I mean, with some of the players, like the one I always bring up, Gray and that, and even Bergvall, they only got game time due to injuries. And Bergvall,
Gray's not getting game time at all.
Well, he would have hardly got any match time if there wasn't the injuries. I mean, we haven't even played him as a fucking centre mid, and it's so
Spursy that we signed a wonder kid centre mid, and we've only played him at centre back. It's the most Spursy thing. But I'm gonna have to go now. Thanks so much for having me.
Yep, cheers for coming on, Matt, and take it easy, mate, and good luck with everything you got to do in that, and take it easy, fella. Yeah.
Comedy Spurs.
Yeah. Come on, you Spurs. You can try, mate. There's nothing wrong with trying. And I agree with what he's just said, but I don't think a lot of these players, I mean, well, I say a lot. I just don't think some of the players would have even seen time of day if there wouldn't have been the amount of injuries we had. And yes, one thing no, I won't show sympathy on it, but I will show realistic on it. Yeah. When your main goalkeeper and your main two defenders are out, it's going to cause trouble to any team. But the fact that the two defenders were out for me was solely on Ange. Neither of them two were fit. Not a chance. I don't care what anyone says to me. Call it personal opinion. We'll go opinion on this one then, yeah? Neither of them two were fit. And they should not have even started in that game against fucking Chelsea. We know we lose that anyway, yeah? But go on there, give it all. I know you want to win and whatever else in that. But then you got to think ahead. This is why I'm not blaming him if he leaves a couple of players out or subs them at half time. You do not bring on an unfit Romero and an unfit Van der Ven. Maybe one of them for 40 minutes or something, yeah? He took a gamble and it bit him in the arse. This is what I talk about playing football, like being like playing poker. Again, I don't know how many people on here play poker. I do. Haven't done for a little while, but love the game. And you can bluff your way through that no end, but someone will catch you out. Someone will all of a sudden realise that you are just blatantly a bluffer and they'll go, do you know what, mate? They'll wait and they'll wait and they'll go all in. And then you are screwed. And then people suss out the way you play. This is why when you play poker, you got to play different ways. You got to have different tactics when you play it. Because there is tactics to playing poker, believe it or not, or you can just play it on luck. You can just play it as you go, sort of thing. That's why I love the game. And you know, this, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to the crunch, and this is the biggest problem this manager has got, you can only play with the cards you got. You can only bluff it so much. You can only bullshit your way through it so much. You can only rely on luck. And again, when things aren't going right and people are starting to suss you out on a poker table because they're seeing that you are blatantly a bluffer, you've then got to change your tactics on the way you're playing. And you've got to do that in a matter of minutes. Because the next cards that come down might ruin you. So this is what you've got to do in football as well. So with the injuries we had at the back, again, his fault as far as I'm concerned. He should have tightened up to three at the back. I know we did it once and we just got absolutely annihilated by Everton for it, but we didn't even really do the three at the back properly. He should have tightened up. Or even if he didn't want to go three at the back, he should have said, right, boys, we ain't got our defence. We ain't got our full team. We got some injuries here. Right, you're going to have to... He should have basically played consistently for 10 games the way we played against Frankfurt. I personally think if Ange would have gone and done that, I still think we'd be a lot... I'd still think we'd be down the bottom end of the table, but I don't think we'd have been 16th. I mean, just looking on my phone quickly, because I haven't got it up on the bloody computer. So just looking at that quickly, 16th, 37 points, yeah? And somehow we've still got a plus 10 goal ratio, which is still better than nearly everyone. I mean, Bournemouth have got 12. We've got a double better goal ratio than Villa, Fulham, Brighton. And then as soon as it goes up to Forest, they've all got a better goal difference than us. But we are 16th and got plus 10 on goals. With the 37 points, I think if Ange would have actually had the capability or not been so stubborn and stuck up his own fucking arse that he can smell yesterday's dinner, that we could have easily had another 9 points on us. And that would have had us in 12th. Still not acceptable, but it looks a lot better than 16th. But there you go, mate. That's who we are, mate. That's what we do. So going back to the team, In centre mid, they're saying they reckon it's going to be Bergvall. And for me, Bergvall, I've found him quite a frustrating player in some ways, but I'll cut him slack because he is a younger player and he has actually established himself in the team. I don't think he'd have got this even a couple of games in the Premier League. Same as Archie Gray if there wouldn't have been the amount of injuries. But I think he's established his place in that midfield pretty solid. Now, does that show you that Bergvall is that good? Or does it show you that our midfield is just that shit? Just a question. I think he's a good player. And you can definitely see there's a player there that if you get a good coach from him, yeah, I think we've got a little star there. I ain't saying no world-class thing, nothing like that, but I think we've got a very good player with very, very good potential on it now. I think we've got a good player with a very high, what do people say, ceiling, whatever, yeah? Like most players, if he gets coached the right way. But him, I think we've got a very good player there. And I think he's established his place in there fairly. The thing that I find frustrating with Bergvall is it's very, very rare that you ever see anything on the final third of him. And what I mean by that is, pardon me. What I mean by that is, you'll see him do a lot of good things at, say, in midfield, get round a couple of players, 1-2 with someone, but you never see that. You hardly ever see that final direct ball or even that shot. Now and again, you do. Very rarely do you see it, and that is why I must admit I do find Bergvall a bit frustrating in some ways. But I do think he has been. I do think he's been pretty good. I think he's one of the players who could actually walk off this season with a little bit of pride. And I can also say, has Bergvall been probably the brightest spark of the season? I don't know what anybody thinks on that. The only other player who can really walk off that pitch, and it makes me, is Johnson. Why? Because he got 16 goals. Fair play. He got 16 goals. Whether they're tap-ins or not, if we wouldn't have got those 16 goals, we'd be in relegation. I don't like the player. I don't think he's a good player at all. Apart from those tap-ins, he is absolutely fucking useless as far as I'm concerned. And the Spurs rule allowing Arsenal song at the stadium is unforgivable. Mate, it is absolutely just, it is shocking. It is absolute shocking in that aspect. I mean, I know it's just changed now. I mean, I'm just looking at the picture now. And what I'm just going to do quickly to my media assist overlay, I just got to do this because I don't want to, but I do want to put this on here and stick that on the desktop. There we go. And okay, give me a minute, people. Add overlay. Desktop. Here we go. I'm keeping quiet for a reason. What the fuck is that all about? I think that is where you can seriously turn around and say that as a football club, we have no soul. Forget the fans. Forget all that. Yeah. Just forget that. This football club has no soul. The fact that it went and done that, no matter what the event is, to me, that just about shows everything. This club has no soul. I'll go back to the Bergvall bit. Yeah, I think he's probably been one of our more positive players of the season. And I think he's actually one that can walk off with a little bit of pride and say that he give it his go. And I do think there is a lot of potential behind this player, as long as we can get a good coach. The next I reckon they're going to start in midfield. Again, this is all ifs, buts and maybes, is Sarr. I think he has been awful this year, bar maybe one game or two. You can say that about a lot of players, basically, bar one game or two. I think he has been fucking awful this year. I mean, he's got an engine on him. Fine. Keep on running, mate. Then you're in the wrong sport. Go to athletics. I do not think he is a good player, personally. For me, he is a player I would rather get rid of quicker than Vicario. Definitely. Like I say, Vicario, I don't think is our main issue, but I think I agree with a lot of people, and I think people have agreed with me that he's definitely something we need to rebuild on. Yeah, but it's not one of our biggest problems. I do not rate Sarr at all. At one time, I think he had a bit of potential, but just no. He's another one for me. He's got to go. We need to clean out that midfield well and truly, along with basically the rest of the team. And then also Maddison starting. For me, if Maddison don't start, that's stupid as well. Again, Maddison, for me, he's been a very ifs, buts and maybes player this season. But again, it does come down to the way, like Matty said, like Sava said, like others say, like Stell says it at times. He doesn't get played the right way because we don't play to the ability of our players. And again, we're just going back on the same crap over and over again. But I do think Maddison is a little bitch. I really do. He's a moany little bitch. He is that mate that you would have next to you sitting in the pub who comes in every time. He can be happy-go-lucky, but then we'll just sit there and moan and moan and moan about something to the point that you actually tell him, like, right, you've moaned enough about it. Are you going to do something about it? He'll say, yeah. And then he'll come in the next time and moan and moan and moan. And you'll just turn around and you just slap him in the face. And just say, shut up. I don't want to hear it anymore. Fix up. That is how he comes across to me. Now, I know it hasn't played his way, and I think he gets a bit more stick than he deserves. Now, the stick I was giving him there was personality, opinion. Again, I think he acts like a little bitch, again. But the frustration for him on there that he has to do a Harry Kane sometimes and literally come back down to our defence line to even see the fucking ball just about says it all. Who wouldn't be frustrated as a player like that? Again, all opinions. So now we have the fun of looking up front. Johnson, I have already given you my opinion on Johnson. Would you even see more out of Johnson better if we played him as a second striker alongside Solanke or something? If we played a 3-4-2, if we played a 3-4-1-2 or a 5-2-2-1, whatever people want to call it. I mean, because I'd have them more as wing backs than midfielders, but would we see more out of him like that? Because he does seem to be able to get into the right position to tap it in the back of the net. And for me, a goal hasn't got to look pretty. It's always good when it looks pretty in that goal, but as long as it's a goal, who really cares? And he does get into the right places to tap the ball in the back of the net. Especially down to the type of football we played. I mean, I personally think that Ange watches too much bloody FIFA, because the way you play on FIFA, if people haven't played it, it's actually an easier game than people think. You just leg it down the wing and then you just drill the ball across as far as you can and make sure you've got two or three strikers in there. And one of them will just tap it in the back of the net. And that is literally how we play. But he does get into those positions and he does score some goals. But again, as an overall player, I just do not rate him. He can't run with the ball. He can't dribble. He can't pass. He can't cross. He can't come back and help on defence. Yes, Frankfurt, he tried. But tell me, apart from those tap-ins, what is he actually good at? What is he actually capable of? But those tap-ins have been very important to us this year. Otherwise, we would be really up shit street. Then we go to Solanke. For me, I think we play him the wrong way again. But that's another 65 million down the shitter as far as I'm concerned. We are even basically at a point where some of us and some of the people on the chat, other channels, are basically sitting here at times and have had, I wouldn't say debates, but discussions on should we start with Richarlison or Solanke. I feel that when you're at a club like the size we're meant to be, and you end up sitting there and you are discussing with your mates, should we start with Richarlison or Solanke? I don't know what anybody else thinks about that, but for me, that talks for itself. The fact that we was at a point where it was just a lot of people just said, do you know what? Bollocks. Just bring Richarlison on, will you? For me, that just about says it all. That you would sit there and discuss with your mate, would you rather have Richarlison or Solanke as the striker? What more do you want me to say? What more can I say? I mean, and for some strange reason, it's coming up on here. They reckon they're going to have left wingers Richarlison. I don't see that. I think either Odegaard. I mean, I don't know who's quite injured at the moment. I must admit, I have lost passion in just keeping track of things. Yeah, and for me, I'd have thought they'd start Odegaard or Tell there. But the fact that we even have to talk about how do we start Solanke or bloody Richarlison, it just sums up the whole joke of what this team is. And again, I do think that if we played a majority of these players to what they are good at, I mean, Porro is not, we keep going back to him, and people are saying that Munich and Juventus are interested in him, yeah? If, and it says Man City as well, I mean, he did start there. If they are actually interested in him, I mean, we all know the football BS, PR, and all this stuff, yeah. But you can only go by what you read, can't you? And you can only really discuss about what you see on the game, and then what you read about things and everything else. We know a lot of it is bullshit, and then some of it does actually just pop out of nowhere, and it's true. So if Munich and Juventus and Man City are actually interested in Porro, yeah, surely that's got to tell you something. Surely that's got to tell you that there's a decent player in there somewhere if you play him the right way. He's not an inverted wing back. And he's not even, see like mate, just watching. He is not even a good bloody defender. He is a wing back. I mean, for me personally, I would rather play him up on the wing. Keep him out there wide. Don't invert. Keep him out there wide because he can pass. He's got a little bit of pace with him. Not the best at taking his man on, but sure ain't as shit as Johnson. And he is about the only player we have got that could consistently cross that ball in there with a half-decent cross. That is how I would play him. Again, it is another player that is played out of bloody position. And it shows so much. How many, and some people have even tried saying still now that we do not play with inverted wing backs. Again, I do just wonder what some other people see when we are playing these games. What other things do people see on that pitch that I honestly don't. You know, it just, some of it, I can't get my head around it. But look, I mean, there's a lot more we can go on about. And do you know what? I'm just going to tell the truth. I cannot be bothered. Because I've got my mate who's a Liverpool supporter coming down. We're going to have a beer together and we're just going to watch the bloody football. So after going through that, cheers, Matt, for coming on. And thanks to the chat for watching. I know, again, very random show. I do them very randomly. I know that. 7, thanks for the super chat, mate. Much appreciated. And gifted membership. Much appreciated, mate. So just a quick question for everyone then before I do go. Last question on it. What is this result going to be today? For me, it's a 3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. Does anyone see this going any other way? Just a quick minute of people give me some results. And I'll put them up if they do. Because I just don't see us winning this game in any means or manner. They are just going to come at us with what they've got and they are going to, yeah, I just don't see it happening. And Corey, yeah, 8-0 Liverpool. I don't see it being that bad. Miss Bunny, Spurs win 2-1. Wow, fair play to you on that one. Ange completing his boyhood ambition and winning the title for Liverpool Anfield. Yeah. Good comment. I like that. And I said 3-1 on Jose's prediction league. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. David, I enjoy the rest of the day, mate. And say hello to Mike for me. Will do. And Brian, 4-0 Liverpool. Matty saying 3-0 Liverpool. People, I think it just about shows how much faith we've actually got left in this place. Sooner this fucking season ends for me, the better. Just get it done and dusted. If we win that Europa Cup, I still want this manager gone. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a good day. Hope the game does not just... You know what? If we go 1-0 down in 5 minutes, just turn the fucking telly off. Seriously, just turn it off. What's the worst that can happen? We turn around and win 2-1. And what will it matter? It won't. So you know what? If 5 minutes we go down 1-0 and then we go down, just turn the bloody thing off. Go and start making your dinner. Go out for a walk around the block. Whatever you do to chill yourself out. Take the bloody dog out for a walk. I don't know. But either way, a couple more up on here quick that I'll bring up then is Corey Boy. I want us to get slapped up that back. No, I don't want us to get beat, Corey. I don't. Not at all. But I can understand. And Matty, no, I didn't. Miss Bunny, backwards psychology, yeah. I think we get battered, so hoping to win. And Gus saying 1, maybe 2-0, but I'll go 1-0. Matty, read my prediction again. Yep. And anyway, yeah, laters, everyone. Have a good day. Like I said, if we go 1-0 down within the first 5 minutes, just turn the fucking telly off and do what you got to do. I'll probably catch you later on one of the other shows on here. Have a good day, everyone. See you later. Take care.
I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.